Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we can be reacting to
12 footballers who speak the most languages.
Footballers are some of the most multilingual people you will ever find. The fact that their work often takes them all around the world forces them to pick up different languages. But to be honest, some really don't care. For example, despite living in the US right now, Lionel Messi still doesn't speak English. But there are some footballers who pick up
and he's one of the most followed.
US does not have a national language, so Messi does not have to speak English. He lives in Miami, where it's like majority of people speak Spanish, so there's really no necessity for him to speak English.
Languages just as easily as they can kick a ball. Those are the guys that we're here to talk about today. These are 12 footballers who speak the most languages. Now, when you saw this topic, who was the first person that came to your mind, and why was it Romelu Lukaku? The Belgian international is a certified polyglot.
New York, very academic and stuff, but you know.
He's fluent in 7 different languages: French, Dutch, English, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, German, and a Congolese Swahili dialect. What a guy. And this is super impressive because he's only ever played in England, Italy, and of course his native Belgium. So
I thought he played in all those countries, so I'm like, okay, you kind of have to at least have, I guess you don't have to, but it's helpful if you have like a conversational level language. But he hasn't even played there. Why he needs all those languages
he
for?
actually went out of his way to learn those other languages. What a brain that guy has.
He can talk shit to his opponent in their native languages.
Up next is Bernardo Silva, who's fluent in 4 different languages: English, Spanish, French, and of course his native Portuguese. And by the way, he could already speak fluent English long before his move to Man City.
I feel like we should have built up to 7, not like start at 7 and then like, oh, 4. Like 4. It's like,
Are you gonna tell me 3?
I like a lot the Disney's movie. The best memories that I have is Peter Pan.
His parents sent him to an English-speaking school in Lisbon when he was just 6 years old, so by the time he was a teenager, he was already very fluent. Another midfielder who belongs on this list is Hakan Calhanoglu, who is fluent in 4 languages. He was born in Germany to Turkish parents and has been in Italy for 8 years now, so we're sure that you can guess what languages he speaks. Add English to that and it's a complete list for the 2-time Champions League finalist.
But his languages like actually make sense, right? So he's learned 2 languages as a kid because of the parents. He lived in a country, Italy, for a long time. Obviously speaks Italian and well English because a lot of people speak English. So I think like most cases would be something like that, like the native languages. If you have dual parents, English plus wherever you played, like a country or 2.
Well, sometimes it's up and down.
And of course, we just could not go without mentioning the legend Thiago Silva. The Brazilian is fluent in 5 languages: French, Italian, Spanish, English, and of course, his native Portuguese. And this makes sense because he spent 3 years in Milan, 8 years in Paris, and 4 years in London. So he was able to improve on his multilingualism in major capital cities.
Então a opção era só deles, então eu tinha que impressionar de alguma forma.
By the way, for those who don't know, Thiago Silva is also a French citizen.
C'est spécial pour moi.
And yeah, we've seen Lukaku and Thiago Silva, but that's not all for former Chelsea players on this list. Can you guess which other former Chelsea man we're going to talk about in this video? Take a shot at it in the comments and we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, today, Alisson Becker. The Brazil international is fluent in 5 languages: English, Italian, Spanish, German, and his native Portuguese. In case you didn't know, Alisson is of German descent, and his father and paternal grandmother are very fluent in German. In fact, during his time at AS Roma, his nickname was the German, so that explains his knowledge of that language.
Não tem motivo especial, acho que minha mãe viu lá numa lista de filme americano.
Another player who has proven to be really good with languages is the GOAT himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. The Real Madrid legend is fluent in 4 languages: English, Spanish, Italian, and his native Portuguese. In fact, he actually also speaks a little Russian.
Okay, dobra outra. Bom dia.
Picking it up from his ex-girlfriend Irina Shayk, who's from Russia.
5 words,
Another goal machine who's also multilingual is Robert Lewandowski. The Barcelona centre-forward is fluent in 4 languages: English, German, Spanish, and his native Polish. He just started to pick up Spanish after moving to Barcelona in 2022, and Spanish media and fans say he's already really
I think,
good.
for a Pole, German is right next to Poland, makes sense. Probably in school required a 3rd language. picked up there. English, obviously, is like a language school. And well, he plays in Spain for a long time. Learn Spanish makes sense.
Yo quiero jugar siempre lo mejor, lo mejor fútbol.
Lewandowski is actually very passionate about languages, and he's often advised the young players at Barcelona to learn English. Now, remember we said that there's another former Chelsea man in this video? Did you guess Kevin De Bruyne? If you did, then you're definitely right. The former Man City captain is fluent in 4 languages: English, French, German, and his native Dutch. By the way, he didn't pick up English when he moved to Chelsea, as many might guess. He could already speak the language long before then.
It snapped, so it is what it is.
When he was much younger, his grandparents lived in London, and he would often go and visit them during the holidays. Shortly after he moved to Chelsea in 2012, he called London his second home because he was already so used to the city by then. Okay, wait a minute. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang also played for Chelsea. That means we have yet another ex-Chelsea guy on this list. The former Gabon international is fluent in 5 languages: English, Spanish, Italian, German, and his native French. In case you're curious, he could already speak Spanish before he joined Barcelona, as his mum is Spanish. Okay, time for another goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois. The Belgian shot stopper has a good understanding of 6 languages, but is confirmed to be fluent in 4. He speaks Dutch, French, Spanish, and English, and reportedly understands some German and Portuguese. Belgians are really good with languages, aren't they? Anyway, we know this next guy is retired, but we just had to talk about Zlatan.
Belgium has 2 languages, right? Dutch and French. That's already 2. English kind of default. Germany close by, so to pick up German, that's already boom, 4 languages just like that.
Ibrahimovic. The former PSG man is fluent in 5 languages: English, Spanish, Italian, and his native Swedish and Bosnian.
And you know better football than me?
No?
So why are you talking?
And since we're talking about retired footballers, we just have to mention Thierry Henry. He's fluent in 6 languages: English, Spanish, Catalan, Italian, as well as his native French and Antillean Creole. He's played in London, Turin, Barcelona, and...
What is Antillean Creole?
It's a type of Creole spoken the Antillean. I don't know. It could be from one of the Antilles. Like he speaks like maybe one of the other Caribbean nations Creole, but not my Creole. Because there's Haitian Creole, and then there's other Creole, like people from like where is Rihanna from?
Barbados.
Barbados, and people maybe from the Bahamas. There's like a version, I believe, of Creole that they have there. There's some words we can understand with one another, but it's not the same. Like there's some words that are different, or we use different words for different things.
Cool.
And of course, he's from France, so that explains it all. This is why he fits perfectly in the media. He's able to conduct interviews with different players in the language they're most comfortable with.
Hélène, t'as compris?
Ouais, j'ai compris, mais j'ai pas tout entendu.
Il a dit que t'étais bidon, tu sers à rien.
Anyway, those are 12 players who speak a lot of languages. But of course, there are a lot more, so feel free to mention more names in the comments. But we'll leave you with 2 administrator is fluent in 7 languages. FIFA President Gianni Infantino. The Swiss-Italian administrator is fluent in 7 languages. First of all, he was born in Switzerland, and that already gave him a huge advantage, as most Swiss folks speak French, German, and Italian. Those 3 are the president's first languages, and on top of them, he also speaks English, Portuguese, Arabic, and Spanish. For those who are curious, his wife...
Okay. Arabic is random. The others okay with Arabic?
Lebanese, and he often lives in Qatar. His kids even go to school there, so it makes sense that he speaks Arabic. There's also Kate Scott, who's a...
You know, he lives in Qatar. That's good. Sus why the FIFA World Cup was in Qatar now.
British sports broadcaster and is fluent in 4 languages. She speaks German, French, Spanish, and her native English. Her multilingualism has made her really valuable in sports media. She hosts the critically acclaimed CBS UEFA Champions League broadcast and has hosted a couple of Ballon d'Or shows. Now, who's your favourite multilingual footballer of all time? Tell us in the...
Yeah, nice to speak so many languages, man.
How many would you like to know?
I'm cool where I'm at. If I moved to another country, I need to speak another language. I would try to learn. I wouldn't want to be like one of the people who are like, oh, I don't speak the language, I just speak English everywhere. No, like if you're a tourist doing that, okay, fine. But if I am living there, I would like to learn the language because I think until you speak that language, you don't feel like you belong there. I think to assimilate, you have to learn the language, period. I don't think that's a choice. If you don't learn the language, you don't assimilate. How about you?
I would like to speak the language that I can actually practice with others too as well. So I would be interested, depending like where I'm living, I would want to speak that language.
Also Lithuanian.
So if I go to Lithuania, I would, it would be nice to know Lithuanian. The population of young people, I don't know who I will be talking to.
me, myself, and I.
Okay, guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Rate, like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And Zoe's. Share as much kindness as possible.